Not 100% ready? 3 powerful reasons to start now. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy Keels Advisory Services. If you want to learn more about how to make your 99 optional, just go to makeitoptional.com. Once again, that's makeitoptional.com. Not 100% ready? 3 powerful reasons to start now is inspired and is for each and every one of you that is trying to figure out if all of the stoplights have to be red for you to leave your house. I've got the answer for you. You already know it intuitively, but let me share a bit of my story, because back in the day when I was working in corporate and had been overthinking so many things and becoming a theoretical ninja, I wanted to be 100% ready for my very first investment outside of the stock market. Yep, I had invested blindly. I don't talk a lot about this, but I had invested blindly. The money was just being taken out of my bank account, very little, but I didn't have any idea what I was doing. But this time it was going to be in my hands. The investment was in my hands. The education was on my hands, and all of the consequence was in my hands. So I wanted to be 100% ready. That was my mindset back then. Don't ask me about it now. Or, yeah, you can ask me, and I'll tell you more about it at another time. But so the thing is I knew I wanted to be 100% ready so much that I studied for 4.5 years. That meant that I stayed in a theoretical chamber of being able to understand formulas and be able to talk in theory, but never having had the practice. And the reason for that was because I wanted to be able to dot all of the I's and cross all of the T's, because that's just what you do as a high achiever, especially when you're coming from the early days of college or in the early days of your corporate career, and then you've had so many stacked successes. Say that 4 times really fast. Successes stacked high so many times that that's all you know. And just like me, like, I just wanted to continue to make more of the perfect investments. I wanted to make the perfect investment because I wanted to make money. I didn't want to lose any money. That was my whole mindset. That's the thing. Like, when you ask me, like, that's what I was studying so much for, because that's what I needed to make happen. And at the same time, honestly, I wanted to have my success story continue. I just wanted the streak to never fail. Like, I wanted to be the exception to the rule. Like, everybody else had gone out, has this story where there's some things that don't work. And I didn't want to be that guy. Like, my story was going to be from cradle to grave, perfect. Right. And if you're watching the video version, you can see the smile on my face. And hopefully, if you're not watching the video version, you can feel the smile it's here on my face. It's a sarcastic one. But anyway, so the thing is because I studied forever and ever and ever, and I perfected all of the formulas, I got to a point where I needed to move beyond that. So I started meeting people online. I started then traveling from Europe to the US and joining masterminds and meeting people and surrounding myself with more people that had the theoretical knowledge as well as real life experience, right? And you're asking yourself, well, yeah, because listen, if you're not 100% ready, these are 3 powerful reasons to start now. I'm going to tell you them, because as I then started paying, right, not just with my time, but now with my money, to join other people, learn from experts, get closer to actually getting started, I started to realize that over time, that unlike other people that I was starting to meet, like, I was stuck. I was stuck in this theoretical loop of perfection, says the recovering perfectionist. I was now at a point where I was paying for closer access, wanting to go from theory to practice, those that had a lot more experience than I did, like real life experience. And so I even talk about this in one of the things, because when you're ready to stop wasting time, because that's the one asset that you can never get back. I did a whole podcast episode on this. If you want to check out episode 503, 503 is going to help you to understand the most obvious counterintuitive reason to start now as well. So check that one out. But back to the story. So the thing is once I realized that I was moving closer, moving away from the theory, more into actually being able to cash in on my knowledge, I did what most high achievers do, right? I wanted to sit down. So I decided that I wanted to identify, right? I wanted to clearly identify, now this is going from theory to action, how much of my money was I going to move into something else? The maximum amount of money that I was going to move into something else, right? And then my mindset at that time was, okay, well, this is money that I don't want to lose. If I lost all of it, then okay, well, at least I tried and I learned and something happened that way. After I realized how much money I was willing to lose, how much money I was willing to move somewhere else, then I thought to myself, okay, well, what's the time frame? When am I going to actually start? Because if you don't put a timeline, you just continue to float forever. You'll find a reason. There's an excuse. This is what happened to me over and over and over, right? I always found a reason to continue to learn more. Afterwards, I found the location that I wanted to actually make the investment in. I then started to recognize that it was time to go ahead and get started. Now, I made a pretty bad mistake there because I didn't really build my team, but that's a whole different podcast episode, so I won't dive into that. But the good news is after I sat down and I just had a hard look in the mirror, with the man in the mirror in my case, which is me, I realized that it was time to actually take action, move from theory to practice, to reality, because I couldn't stand to look at myself anymore and answer the same question over and over. Well, how many assets do you have in your portfolio? And I would say 0. It got to be really embarrassing. So fortunately, in June of 2013, when I was about 80% ready, I still wasn't 100% ready, right? Because I don't know if you're ever 100% ready. I decided I was going to start, and I started. Did I have a bunch of questions that needed to be answered? Was I 100% sure? No, I wasn't 100% sure. I was about 80% sure. And I had the same concerns. Was all the paperwork ready? Was I going to actually make the goal that I'd set out for myself, which is that 5-year goal that I think I've shared before? Was it actually the right choice? Was this the right property? Is that the one that I really should have invested this money in this particular opportunity? And would I, of course you ask, am I going to lose all my money? Am I not going to manage this property correctly? Are the residents, were they going to destroy the property? And how long would it take me to actually get tenants in place or residents in place, right? All of these kind of things just came to the surface as soon as it was time to push the proverbial wire transfer button. Been there, done that. It is super unnerving. All the reasons that I should not have done it, I could not have done it. And those are real feelings. I've been there. I understand what you're going through. But to continue to study more and more and more and more, you're a high achiever. You find your North Star, you take action, and you adjust along the way. So the thing is that I finally did get started. Now, and fortunately, the goal that I set out for myself, the 5-year goal, well, that goal, I eventually started going to it. But the point of this episode is really to say I finally got serious and realized it was time to stop being a theoretical ninja. I took action. The first property, the first asset was in my portfolio. That was the most important thing. And you know what? The 3 powerful reasons as we think about this, are you ever 100% ready? I don't believe so. Was everything perfect? No. Did I waste any more time? No. Did I gain valuable experience that I could repeat? Absolutely. And so the 3 powerful reasons is, number 1, to recognize that it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be the right time. And every single time you do, you're going to gain valuable experience for yourself, for those around you, for loved ones. It's just something that you have to understand. And they're absolutely powerful reasons to start now. And also recognize 100% ready. I don't think I've ever seen it or ever felt it. Every single time, it's always been something. So the thing is what I want for you is, if it's not you, if you're still borderline, you're trying to find perfection, or somebody else who's trying to find perfection, recognize you're not going to get there. It's impossible to feel 100% ready because you're doing something outside of your comfort zone. But here's the thing. You have the opportunity to share today's episode, have a conversation with somebody that you care about, somebody who needs to hear this. And so what I would like to ask you to do is share the episode and then take the action to get on the phone, get on a Zoom, share the knowledge with the person that you're sharing today's episode with. And while you're doing that, guess what I'll be doing? I'll be right here preparing for the next episode. So until then, go out and make it a great day. And thank you very, very much. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy Keels Advisory Services. If you want to learn more about how to make your 99 optional, just go to makeitoptional.com. Once again, that's makeitoptional.com.